How are you feeling? How'd the recovery go? Everything like that.
Still in that process, but it's going good. I think we all have a good plan right now. I got some reps in today. Felt good. Felt solid. This it's a day by day thing, but I'm feeling good.
What was the atmosphere like coming back here at this time?
It's exciting. It's new challenges, and as a leader, I try to challenge everybody to, prove themselves every day. Even myself, prove, who we can be. Yesterday I challenged the defense. We got, they want to talk about our D-line and all this, but we ain't done anything yet. And we got to come out here every day and improve and get better and challenge each other and just work and be critical and, be coachable.
Are you excited by the pass rush opportunities that arise if you and those three outside edges are on the field at the same time together?
If we can get teams to pass the ball. So we got to win on first and second down first, and that's the most important thing. We can't get to third without winning first and second, and that's the challenge.
How much, Dex, you're like the senior guy here in some ways. Do you feel like you have to step out and be out front in that leadership role?
I think it naturally is happening. I don't say much, but I think what I have to say is pretty good and pretty powerful. So, but I let my play do a lot of talking, and I let my work ethic talk, and I let and I just let the things I do on the field talk a lot. But if I see something, I'm more comfortable to say something, and because guys, I have that respect.
What has that actually been like on that defensive line with all those edge rushers, and how does that help you?
It's our first day out here, so and I didn't do much in the spring, so today was the first day to run around with them and go against the offense, and you're gonna see what the tape looks like. It's never as good as you think, and never as bad as you think. So I'm excited just for these days to stack each other and us to keep growing together.
How much now that you've grown into this role of being a leader and being a little bit more vocal, feeling comfortable be vocal, do you find yourself getting a little bit more involved in, hey, this scheme may work best if we do X, Y, and Z, as opposed to just sitting back and doing what you're told?
Nah, I mean, I trust the coaches that I have, Coach Dre and Bowen. I think they have a good plan for us right now, and seeing everything how it's developed right now, I'm soaking it in. If I do think something, I'll probably say something, but right now it's learning the schemes that they put together and trusting it.
Coach, how much urgency do you feel? Like 2 years ago during training camp, you said I don't want to make something like I'm done rebuilding or I want to start winning, and obviously that hasn't happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're in your prime years as one of the best players in the NFL. How much urgency do you feel that now's the time?
It's a very important thing to me, and that's my challenge. That's I didn't hold back, meeting with the defense and letting them know if we want to get where we want to go, and that's the Super Bowl, that's the ultimate goal. We got to prepare for that every day. We got to train like that every day. We got to recover like that every day. We got to meet like that every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process. Everything is the process, and you got to enjoy it. And if you get bored, find something, challenge yourself. What can I work on today? What can I improve today? And that's the challenge, and that's where you see greatness, and that's when you get in the flow state.
Yeah, you talked in the past about how you just focus on dominating your opponent. You let other people talk about expectations and Pro Bowls and All-Pro. Does it get to a point in your game where you now want to take your game to another level? You know where you're at, but how do you get there? How do you get to where you want to be, even if you're not vocalizing?
Yeah, I think just coming out with a purpose, coming out every day with a purpose. When I step in this building, I have a purpose. I'm critical of myself. I make more corrections of myself than the coach make. And I think that's what I have to do, and to be mentally strong and through all of this, because you can go here and it can go here. It's a wave, and to keep rising, you gotta keep growing. And I'm not afraid to grow. I'm not afraid to get uncomfortable. And I think that's what makes you special.
Does that challenge of challenge you guys? Does that urgency come more also from you being hurt last year and having to miss the last 5 games? Does that add to that proving yourself mentality?
Not really. No. I mean, injuries are part of the game. I just know I gotta do a little more. You get a little older, you gotta do a little more, and so I'm putting a lot of things in place. So that can possibly not happen again.
And what was the toughest part of the rehab for you?
Showering.
Dex, you talk about wanting this team to be better. What is it that you see, or what gives you hope that this team is going to be better this year? Like, what do you see out there? You said the D-line, we haven't done anything yet, but what do you see out there that says we can be a better team?
I think it's different guys like Tay speaking up a little bit, Flott speaking up a little bit, different guys like that who has been here for a little bit, who haven't spoken much, but they more comfortable in their roles, whatever it is. And I think that's what a team is. You got to understand your roles. And if you special teams, you're special teams. You're a superstar, you're a superstar. You're a backup, you're a backup, and flourishing in those roles, because you never know where it can go. And I think we all part of a body, and the body is this team and this organization, and everybody got to do their specific role every day so we can get what we want to get.
How long does it take to get a sense of what this team is capable of? Is that something that you feel you have a good sense of by the time first game rolls around, or is it?
I think, and that's what training camp is for. Just like you said, just getting that feel each and every day. Like, seeing how guys work, seeing when they hurt, seeing when they tired, seeing when they a little fatigued, or the day's getting tedious. How you come out to practice and how you approach the meetings, and little things like that. And that's how you get the feel. So right now, I see guys, getting a little extra on the field, talking to each other. I think, my challenge also was to learn, why are you doing something? Why are you putting your hands here? Why are you stepping this way? Why are you looking this way? Why, the why? Ask the question why, and that's how you grow.
Dex, I'm curious. You came in with Daniel, obviously. It's the other side of the ball, but you know what a quarterback means to a team. He's been here your whole stretch. You got 3 new quarterbacks now. What's your sense of that group? What they brought, maybe what was missing, that kind of thing?
I think they're working well together. Dart, he got a lot of confidence in himself, and he walks around like it. But you want that, and I respect that from him. And Russ is a great leader. Jameis is a great leader, and I see them talking to him a lot. And Russ handles his business really well. So for him to learn from that, and them to be unselfish, to teach that to him is it's only a up trajectory.
The defensive tackle market has exploded, and a lot of people view you as at the top of that, but your contract, average annual salary-wise, is no longer there. Would you like to see that sweetened, or is that not something you care about at this moment?
I mean, I do what I do. It's going to take care of itself. It's right now. I just want to win. I know if I do that, and I keep being who I know I am, it's all going to take care of itself, and that's all I can do.
Have you guys talked about that at all, like your side and them, or no?
No, I'm just going to handle my business.
Speaking of mental challenges, what do you do off of the field to help your performance, mental health wise?
Well, I sleep. I breathe. I do a lot of breath work. I talk to my wife. Little things like that, like just when I don't bring a lot of stresses that I have at work home, and she understands that. And I think just having a good, healthy off the field life is the best thing. And I don't know, I chill. I play my video game. Yeah, I pray.
Dex, you've got 2 highly drafted young guys on the defensive side of the ball, and Abdul and Darius. Just your thoughts on them so far.
Yeah, I trained with Darius this offseason. He was with me in Clemson. His tape at Toledo is very impressive. So I think for him is just continue to learn his position for both of them. I think, and you have to be smart to play this game, and you gotta learn your position, and you gotta learn why, and you gotta learn how. And I think if you're willing to do that, is nowhere you can go. There's nowhere that you can't go.
And your first impression of Abdul? Your first impression of Abdul, like seeing him on the field?
He's swift. Yeah, he can move really well. And his tape is unbelievable as well. But like I said, it's the beginning of training camp, and you chase perfection, but it'll never be perfected. So perfection. So I think that's the challenge.